I started telling a story a while back about drugs in Texas, most specifically marijuana in Texas. I inadvertently, accidentally kind of crossed the border with a bunch of weed. So anyway, long story short, that weed eventually ran out, and I went about my business of sourcing another dude to get weed from, because that's what you do when you live in a place that doesn't have legal weed. You find a guy who knows a guy, and then you have a guy. So I went about doing that, and I found a guy, and I won't use his real name. I remember what it was, but we'll just say Chang Wang was his name. So I get this phone call, and I pick it up, and he's like, "Hey, man, it's Chang Wang." And I was like, "Cool. Hey, Chang, my name's Paul." And he goes, "Hey, man, I got that loud. What up, man? What up? You want that loud?" And I was like, I don't know what loud is, sir, but maybe." And he's like, "What? You don't know what loud is?" Well, I had no clue what loud was, but I found out it was weed. And so he goes, "All right, man, meet me at the Chuck E. Cheese at this address in 20-30 minutes. And I was like, the Chuck E. Cheese? Yeah, just park in the parking lot at the Chuck E. Cheese. And I was like, me. So this Chuck E. Cheese is about 15-20 minutes away from my house. I'm sweating bullets driving my way over there, thinking that I've been gaffled up in some Texas police sting or some shit, right? I'm already clammed up. It's weird. I've never met this dude. I know nothing about him. I know nothing really about the dude that hooked me up with him, so I'm really out on a limb here. And I get there, and I pull up, and I send Chang Wang a message. I say, "Hey, Chang Wang, I'm here." And he goes, "All right, man, we'll be there soon." And then I look back at the text, and I was like, "We? Who's we? Who the fuck else is coming?" So Chang pulls up in a sporty little, car, and this big white dude gets out. And Chang gets out too and hands the white dude what very clearly is my weed. And then the white dude walks over to my car and just gets in. He's like, "Hey, man." And I'm like, "Oh, are you Chang?" He's like, "No, man, that's Chang." I'm like, "Okay, here's the money, dude I've never met. Can I have the weed?" And so he's chatting me up about the weed like I want to know about it. And really all I want to do is stash this weed and get the fuck back to my house. And he's like, "Dude, this is a really good weed, man. Really super mellow smoke." I'm like, "That's good, man. That's cool. I trust. You want to take a smell of it?" I'm like, No need. It's weed. I can smell it through the bag." And he goes, "All right, man. Well, stay up." Blah blah blah. Gets out of the car. And I'm like, oh. He gets back in the car, and he and Chang pull away. And I get on my phone to text Ashley. "Hey, everything went fine. I'm on my way home." And I start my car, and I look up at the rear view mirror as I usually do when I'm pulling out of a parking space, and I fucking shit you not, San Antonio PD. And he's parked right behind me. His car is lengthwise across the back of my car, and he's just sitting there. And I'm like, I'm going to fucking jail. In Texas, of all fucking places. I'm gonna get butt-raped in a San Antonio shithole county jail. This is gonna be fucked. So this dude's back there, and I see he's looking, and then he's just eventually he pulls off. And I'm like, oh, thank God. So instead of going the direction that he's going, I go the other direction. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go up and around and go the long way out of this parking lot and shake this cop. So I do that. The only way out of this parking lot is one way, and I pull up at the same time as the cop. We just and it's really unclear who has the right of way. So I'm like, "All right, officer." And I actually made the motion. I was like, "Go ahead, sir. I'm sure you have business to attend to." And he just sat there. I waited about 3 or 4 or 5 uncomfortable seconds, and I pulled out, and he immediately pulled in behind me. And I was like, "F it, I'm going to jail. All right, let's do this." So I pulled onto the frontage road. He pulls right in behind me. He's all close. I can tell he's calling my plates in and shit. So I drove, 3/4 of a mile, and all of a sudden he lights up his lights. Whoop! I hear the whoop, whoop, whoop. And instead of staying behind me, he pulls up right next to me with his lights on, does the whaler one more time, whoop, whoop, revs his engine, and then just peels out and leaves. So basically, now for anybody that's wondering why a cop would do such a thing, basically the message I got, because you realize I just got into San Antonio, so I had California license plates. And basically what the Texas guy was saying, "All right, California, I ran your plates and they came back clean. I don't see any prize for drugs or anything else, but next time I see you buying weed in a Chuck E. Cheese parking lot, your white privilege is not going to save you, boy." Now, am I wrong in that interpretation in anybody's estimation, or do you think that's basically what happened? That alone was enough to put me on edge the entire fucking year I was there.